Okay. All right. Hello, Teaquilters. Today is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025, and we're here for live chat today. I probably will be sewing because I don't have anything else to chat about unless you all have some questions. So I'm planning to do some string crumb piecing, however you want to call it at this point. I have been like kind of moving some stuff around and saw a box of things that look like strings. Probably got them from Scrap Club or Kevin or somebody, but they were just sitting there. So I brought them in here just in case. So, and I also got a box from Michelle the Quilter, so we'll be opening that as well. So let me first just start by reading some of the chat comments, see who's here. Sue GSD is here saying, welcome friends and family. 70 days until retreat 2025. She says, I'm Whisper. I don't want to stress out T tonight. Okay, Sue, we'll take that. Melody Kiefer is here. Darcy is here saying hello to all you T quilters and give T her thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Also, check out our Facebook page, Teaquilts LLC. Make sure that you answer the 4 questions so that you gain admission into that group as well. And also, becoming a member, or not a member, but a subscriber on YouTube, you're able to post in the comment section of the video. So make sure that you subscribe so that you can post. That way I can keep the trolls from posting. So if you're watching and you can't post, you either are not logged into YouTube or you are not subscribed to the channel. So hit that subscribe button for me, please. Maddie Barnum is here. Says she got her package. I love the shirt and I love your scrap class tee. It's wonderful and fun. Thank you. And her rent's paid. And she's talking about our online scrap quilting club. And it's a paid group. Let's see. I think it was $60 for the entire year. And we meet once a month via Zoom. And we have projects. And so we were working on our project on Sunday. So that's one of the things that I've done since my last live on Saturday. I had to cut on Sunday as well as sew. I did finish mine, but I made a mistake in when I trimmed it up. I don't know. I was trying to trim it up just so I could have some experience telling people. And my experience is be careful because I cut mine wrong. And so I just kind of zigzagged it back together, like major zigzag back together. And I think I'm going to I got a way, I think, in my head that I'm going to fix it, but I'm just like, letting it marinate right now. So I did mess up. So be careful trimming up. I don't normally trim up this type of quilt until after I quilt it. But I was trying to do it for experience so that I can tell people in the class what to look out for. And I needed to look out myself. And that's why I don't mind like doing something and messing mine up to prevent somebody else from messing theirs up. So I'll be talking about that in the group. Don Cunningham is here. Teresa Forrester. Tina U. Roberts. Suzette Peterkin Denton. Teresa says she beat me in. Carissa Reninger is here. Melinda C. Deborah Holloway. Quilt Gal. Zandra Odom. Bonita Nance. So she's eating dinner. Remo JS is here. Is also reminding you to hit the thumbs up to show your love and support. Brenda Foley. Janice Miller. Anita Scott. Delia Castro Short. And Shelly S. is 5. It's also here. Saying hi, everyone. I hope all is well. Vivian Calvi, Sharon Lewis. A lot of people saying their rent's paid. That means that they have hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, do so right now while I'm calling out names here. Claudette Hall. Don, you crack me up. She says, when is Hancock of Paducah's quilt show? Are you going? The quilt show is next 16 and 7 is 23. So yeah, it's next week. These days are moving fast. It's next week is AQS, American Quilter Society quilt show. That's in Paducah, Kentucky, where Hancock's of Paducah resides. It's not Hancock's of Paducah show. Yeah, so it's next week. I'm probably going to go on Friday. Friday is when I'll go. I think I said Claudette Hall. Sheila Willis is here. Irish Cell Lady Linda is here. She said, I had second eye surgery and feel great. Can't wait to get back to sewing. Yes. Hopefully it all goes well. My mom had to have surgery on both her eyes, and she done very well. I was really surprised. She done very well during that process. So hopefully it does the same for you. Linda Parrish is here. Remo says she finished the top for the club as well. Linda Parrish said, I received my shirt. Thank you so much. Thank you for ordering it. I really appreciate it. Beverly Simmons is here from Newfoundland, Canada. Have you done string quilting? I have done a whole lot of string quilting. That's what basically is always up on this board. I'm always working on stuff, and then I'll put pins in parts because I'm like, what's up on my board, I don't necessarily have a project for, so I don't know what max size I need. I'm just sewing most of the time things that are left over. And so, and I even got pieces down here because I was adding on, I was doing more. You will see every now and again this right here might change because I'm putting up little crumbs that I'm keeping to start the next one. So I haven't done any yet, but I do plan to do some tonight because I don't think I'll be talking for an hour. Beverly Simmons is here. Welcome back. She says hello. I did say that. I did read that. Haven't seen her in here in a while. Michelle the Quilter is here. Is that my box? Yes, ma'am. That is your box. It came 2 days. Today is Wednesday. It came Monday. I was actually at the post office when it got delivered. I checked in and saw that it had arrived about 3 o'clock. I was actually in line. But when mail arrives at that day, it's just a big grouping of mail, a whole truck of mail. And so it hasn't been sorted. So I sent my husband up yesterday to get it. And they still didn't put a note in the box saying that I had mail. I go up there today, and my husband doesn't deal with it because he doesn't have tracking numbers. So I go up there today, I go open my box, and there's still no card in my box. So I ended up opening it, and it was empty. So then I went to the mail pickup door for the post office boxes. And I explained to them that, this is like been happening for the past month or so. And he said, the guy that opened the door said he'd make sure that they get the cards in the box. So I happened to be going on my way out. I saw that the manager of the post office, I don't know what she's called because I don't think she's a post, what do they call them? I forget what they call the people that actually are in charge of the post office. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I saw her out on smoke break, and I said, I'm sorry to interrupt your smoke break, but can I talk to you for a minute? And I said, I wanted to talk to you outside because I didn't want anybody inside to get in trouble. I just want to tell you that you can't fix a problem if you don't know you have a problem. And I told her about me not getting these cards, and it's been going on for the past month, and that I had 4 packages that could have been returned. And I said, I may have other packages that may have been returned. I don't know, because I'm not getting cards in my box. And I said, I follow y'all rules that say don't come up to the window unless we put a card in your box. And then I'm not going up to the window because I don't have a card in my box. And I said, it's kind of confusing. And I said, I don't want to irritate the postal people. Every time somebody said they're sending me something, I'm going to be ringing this bell. Is my package in yet? Is my package in yet? Is my package in yet? You know, it can be annoying. And so she kind of understood, and she said that she would talk to them about it. She did say that there was a new person that they had hired to sort the mail that comes in. And they're supposed to put the cards in the box. So maybe this person just forgot that step. You know, when you're starting a new job, probably new to the post office as well. And she just probably forgot that main step. And I don't know why no one else is complaining about that, which is weird to me. So, because I know if I'm not getting mine, I'm not the only one. So there is an issue at the post office. Hi, Carol Williams. Welcome to the chat. I got your t-shirt and love it. Thank you for the pin and sticker too. That's from Michelle. You're welcome. Welcome. Everybody that ordered a shirt should have gotten a pin, and I'm hoping you got a sticker. I was trying to put that in there because when I do books and stuff like that, I can't put anything in. It has to just be paper or media. So I can't put stuff extra in those. Hi, Elaine Doucette. She says number 24. Oh, thumbs up. So thank you, ma'am. Darcy says, I wish there was a quilt show near me in Minnesota. You never know with the AQS show, with it moving around to various different states, it might be in the state next to you. You might have to travel just a little bit. There is one in Branson, Missouri, but Branson is 5-hour drive from me. Whereas I can get to Paducah, Kentucky in 2.5 hours. So I go to Paducah, Kentucky instead of going to the Branson show. And they normally switch them out every 3 years or so. Switch the secondary shows around. And there's normally 2 or 3 secondary shows a year. Sheila says she will see me on Friday. Helena Carter is here. Paula S is here. Celeste is here. I don't know. Her message was retracted. Joy Creations. Melissa LePage is here. Joy Creations. The postmaster. Thank you, Benita. Joyce Sterling is here. Aren't you on retreat list? I can't remember. Let me see. I got the names right here. No. Wait a minute. They're not in order anymore. They got mixed up. No, maybe not. I'm just thinking of her being in the sewing group. That's what I'm thinking about. Elena Joyner says she received her t-shirt. Thank you. Again, thank you to those that have ordered. I appreciate it. Holly Duvall is here. Bonita says she has hers but haven't opened it yet. I received my t-shirt also. That's from Joyce. So awesome, awesome. We can always let you know when something was sent and see if your post office gets better. Yeah, the thing, I need like the actual tracking number and not a photo of it, because I can't look at my phone and type it into the search engine at the same time, and you cannot highlight a picture text. So if you send me a photo of it, I don't check it. If you send me the actual tracking numbers, I will copy and paste that into the browser, and then I can track when it gets there. But otherwise, I don't know that you've sent something because I don't get tracking numbers. And Brenda Foley is saying that this is, I don't even know what page I put that on now. I was trying to keep track of that. This is just the wrong place for this. Tracy. Am I on the back side of pages? I don't know. I'll just write it here, but I don't know if I'll remember. It goes into my desktop. Okay. Hi June Hansen and Jason Lewis. Hey, what you doing in here? Hi, Crafting on a Dime with Shay Shay as well. So, hey, Shay Shay, welcome to the group. I must have missed it because I don't remember reading it. Okay. So, yeah. So, let's open up Michelle's box first. Get that out the way because Teaquilts charity drive this year is pillowcases. And so, we have a 300 pillowcase drive that we are working towards. We have 217 that have been sent in. The ones that are coming, the people that are coming to retreat are going to bring theirs to retreat. But if you're not coming to retreat, then I ask that people send in the pillowcases to my post office box by, let me get the date because I'm going to be handing them off to Kevin. So get them in to me where they arrive to me by May 16th. Now, if I get them on May 16th, that's a Friday. I'm giving them to Kevin on Saturday. They will not be shown on here like I'm going to do right now. If you want them to be shown, then get them to me before that Wednesday, which is the 14th, so I can show them. Because otherwise, when they're at retreat, they're going to be shown in groupings unless you bring your own, and then you can get up and show them at that time. But, okay, I got these old dull scissors here. I guess I took out my box cutter. I had probably, I don't know. It's not in here, or I don't see it anyway. I was trying to see if it hit the floor. But this is from Michelle the Quilter. I'm just glad that, you know, stuff is showing up at least. Now I know to ask. And it's almost like I'm losing. Like my husband would go to the post office at least once a week for me. It's like he's not good with, he's never done tracking numbers and things like that. So he doesn't know what to do with it. So he's just not good with that part. So I have to go to the post office when there are going to be problems, you know. So he went up yesterday. It was just a waste of time. Well, I did have him drop some mail orders off. So this is a note in here. Oh, she made her card. Looky. Did multiple framing. Very nice. Oh, she's got little stuff make you smile. Let me cover the bottom part until I see it. Isn't that fun? You get a card that makes you smile. She says, hi T, here are 8 pillowcases that I made for your donation. It is so nice of you to do this project. I made a variety for adult and children. I continue to enjoy your live streams. Looking forward to videos from the retreat. Have fun, Michelle the Quilter. So yay, thank you. That's really nice. I will put this right here while I got some other cards right there. So we got 8 pillowcases in a recyclable bag. I'm going to put this bag on the bottom because I can see a few strings on my little press mat here. Oh, so Michelle's been listening. She's got some that can go to the veterans pillowcases. Very nice. So 2 like this, or, you know, they're not the same, but they're subject based. Very pretty. So that's 2. I used to decorate my house for spring, summer, and then I did patriotic, Halloween, and Christmas. I didn't necessarily do fall because I really didn't like a lot of the fall stuff. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I used to love doing patriotic quilts. So this one here, very feminine pillowcase. SpongeBob, I guess, you know, because I have not watched children cartoons since the Teletubbies, okay? Very pretty. Love the flags. More of a male pillowcase. This one could also be a male that likes bright colors. Some people do. I had a friend who, her husband, he actually liked pink and stuff, his quilts and things like that. He didn't want what was considered to be a traditional male pillowcase or quilt. So this one is fire. I'm assuming it's a firefighter's hat. Yeah, both of these are the same fabric. Very pretty. And oh my goodness, Michelle, she used the fossil ferns. Looky. I don't know if you all can see the texture, but it's fossil fern. Very nice. So 2, 4, 6. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the patriotic. 7, 8. Okay, so thank you, Michelle, for the 8 pillowcases. So let's get them charted down here. I'm just going to temporarily just close this back. And we can go to the chart here. Put in Michelle for 8. So that makes us at 225 pillowcases. And let's see. I gotta snooze that, giving me notifications for tomorrow. All right. So, easy number, 75% completion of goal. And we're going to go over as well. But if you're interested in sending a pillowcase to donate, it can just be 1 pillowcase. You can send it to my P.O. Box, which is always listed in the description box of my videos. But it is P.O. Box 38205. And it's St. Louis, M.O. 63138. And you can just send it to Teaquilts. So a lot of people saying that the pillowcases are pretty. You all are so sweet. A lot of you all. They just all over the place. I think I just gave the mail P.O. Box. P.O. Box 38205. St. Louis, Mo. 63138. So yeah, we getting the pillowcases in. So thank you to everybody that's been participating in that. Uh-oh. I forgot all about the scrap box and set it on top of Michelle's box. And then I moved Michelle's box. And I got scraps all over the floor. So this is what I come across. And yeah. I kind of like this. This is a batik. I'll put that up there with the batik ones. Sometimes I get batiks in here and I don't care. Other times I do care. So I am just going to make a few string blocks. Hello, Deborah Sims Brown and Joanne Lucas. Welcome to the chat. I don't think I've seen your name. Jacqueline Mason as well. So I could just take stuff, and I think I will do that. We're going to do what's called a mile a minute. And I don't know if I've got small pieces in here. That's the problem. Because I haven't, like, practice. And these pieces up here are mine. Like, these aren't mine, but they're not really mine. Okay, they're mine, but they're not. So I am going to, I got some smaller pieces. So I'm going to take some of these smaller pieces, and we're going to do a technique called mile a minute, where you take larger piece, and I don't want both of them on the same thing, and you just sew small pieces onto it. Now, if I was doing a block with only like 12 blocks, then I wouldn't use this whole strip. I might just cut like 12 inches or something like that and do that. But I don't know what I'm doing with these right now. They could be made into anything. So I just pulled a few of the small pieces off the top. I'm not really going to press anything. Let me see if I can take some of these pieces out, and then I can put the box on the floor. Just trying to find some of the smaller pieces for right now. All right, let's put this on the floor. And then let's also cut this iron on. And I'm not worried about, I don't have any water in it, but right now it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to take smaller pieces and take my large piece and just sew pieces down. And I am going to make sure that I'm past, this is one of those cheap hard fabrics that probably came from like Walmart. And this is a great place to use this type of stuff, because I wouldn't want this in my regular quilt. But I still want to come past the selvage. The whole strip feels like selvage is I guess my whole point. I came unthreaded. So I'm just going to lay a piece on here and sew until this strip is full. Now, one of the things I do like about scrap quilts is that you don't have to think. It's just mindless sewing. So it's something that I do tend to sit here and watch television and do. You don't have to worry about it. And I'm not worried about my 1/4 inches matching perfectly. It's great for beginners because you get to practice your 1/4 inch and you don't have to rip if it's wrong. It's great for people that, if your blocks aren't matching up, maybe you need to do something like this. And then, it's just a way that you don't have to rip if you did make a mistake. So you can always practice on something like this where you can, I want my needle down because it's coming up. So you don't have to do any ripping. That's the reason why I like it. So I don't want to use all of those. I want to use some different ones. And then we have things that have angles too. I don't really trim anything. Matter of fact, I'm just going to put it on here and let it do what it do. When I cut it, we'll figure it out. So up on this board, I'm kind of working with like batik strings and African strings. So I'm trying to keep that consistent. This is a strip set that somebody had sewn. These are not my fabrics, so I don't remember any of these. And then I'm just going to take that strip set and put it on here too. Still got this much left. So I'm going to just keep doing that until I fill this strip. Trying to see if I got some different sizes. Probably need something that might finish off the strip. Yep, this is about the size of it. And then we can always cut this in half too. You don't have to keep it the same size. All right, so I'm just gonna take another strip because I gotta get that one off. And I don't ever, unless my bobbin runs out or my top thread runs out, I tend to sew on something. Unless I'm live with y'all and I just need to cut it so I can get to the next step. But I try to always sew on another scrap piece, never just cutting that thread. And I'm just sewing on this one so I can get the long strip off. Alright, now you can use a rotary cutter and cut these apart. I'm just going to use some scissors real quick here. So I don't have to pull my cutting up. When I'm here by myself, I have my cutting boards right down there. I just pull them up and down as needed. This one is the one that's got that weird angle, so I'm not going to trim it right next to the edge. But the other ones I will, because I'm just going to flip them over. And I could have pressed this strip with all of them on here, but I'm working right now in a little small space, so I'm just going to clip them, so I'm only dealing with so many at a time. All right, so I'm going to put this back here so I don't bury it. And then we're just going to press these over. Deborah says she received her package. Awesome, awesome. My friend wants me to make quilts that could be like doors for, they can be like doors for cabin bedroom. 36 by 80. Do you think an inside out method would work? You talking about sewing around the outside and flipping? I don't know. I have never done that. Maybe somebody in the chat can help you. So again, this is that long one. I don't have to necessarily sew this. I am going to cut it, I think, because it's long. See, this is the long one. This one has a cut in it. I've just not seen it. Let me cut this because I don't want the cut fabric in my quilt. You know how you sometimes cut, even with rotary cutting, you can cut too far. And so since I already got the scissors here, I may as well go ahead and make this 2 pieces too. So we'll have that part done already. All right. This is the one that had the angle. And I think I pressed everything but the one that's up there. All right. So now we've got all of these units. I've got this one that's got like a weird angle because I sewed this piece onto here. I could rough cut out and make it square, but all I'm going to do is give myself another straight edge right here. I'm going to give myself a straight edge by just cutting through the line there. And then I've got another starter piece I can use somewhere else. So now I've got this that I can sew to this side. All right, so now I could get another long strip, or this is like decorator fabric. It's got a hole in it. Cut the part off I don't need. And then maybe get some of the smaller units and go across these, or I can get like a full strip again and use those. So we will, I'm just trying to use as much real estate as I can. That's the only reason changing out fabric, trying to get the biggest piece on here that I can for utilizing my strips. So I don't have any more of that left. Trying to use it up. Here's one here. These are not long. We just used the blue. We want something else. Just trying to get some longer pieces, but let's go down in a box. Like here's a slightly longer piece. So we can get more than one piece on it. And I don't worry too much about pressing it ahead of time unless I need them a certain size. Then I'll press them and cut them to the, like if I'm making say 8-inch straight string blocks, then I would press them and cut my pieces about 9 inches so that I have room for squaring up. We don't want that one. This one, it won't fit either. This one won't fit. So where's the blue piece I had that I said I could start another one with that? This one. We'll put this on here. All right. So we still got a few we haven't used yet. That's okay. Go down here and cut this. And again, let me just press to show you that you can press them connected, but I just tend to press them, cut them apart, folded. But ideally, you could just press them all on your strip set. I just find it quicker for me to press them separate because of my space right here. And then I get to use that folded fabric to help me cut a little straighter going across too. Whoops. All right. All right, so we're going to get a long strip now so we can put some of these pieces on there. I'm only going to use one of those because they're duplicates. See if we can find a long strip. We don't know what's in this box. This yellow is really long, like way too long. Trying to see if I can find something a little bit smaller. This one's long. It could do with a pressing, but we'll go forth. All right, we got this piece that needs to go on. This got selvage on the bottom. I don't want to waste my fabric, so I'm going to cut it off. Selvage. All right, we've got this piece needs to be added. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn it. So just mindless sewing, I actually like this. As I said, that's like some nights when television was really, really good. I used to sit here for like from 7 to 10 and watch all the good programs. That don't happen. It's just not a whole lot of good stuff on like it used to be. But yeah, I would just sit here and do this. So I'll put a little piece of African fabric in here because it'll fit. So that's why I have the little small pieces on my board, and then they just grow into larger pieces. So now I'm going to start with, I don't know why this feels like it's polyester to me. This is going in the trash. I don't want polyester because as soon as I hit it with an iron, it's going to regroup itself. And I'm not trying to do that. It's going to shrink up. So I got another piece here. I don't worry about the strings until the end because string and crumb quilts are going to be stringy. When I get my blocks pressed, right before I do my final square up is when I'll worry about that type of stuff. And also, with these strings, I'm not keeping these. So, I have a number sitting on top of my sewing machine. If you are interested in receiving these blocks that I'm making, these units, and I'm going to put some of the strings in there too. Put a number in the chat from 1 to 20, and whoever gets the number that I have sitting on top of my machine will get these blocks mailed to you for free. So I'm helping you start a string quilt project. And I sewed on it. So, numbers 1 through 20. See who gets it first. And anybody can get it. Not yet. 1 through 20, guys. Somebody put 40. Jason Lewis. Talking about 46. You had me thinking it was a Teaquilter that put that in there. Let me go back and make sure I haven't missed this number. Not yet. It's sitting on top. Oh, I got it now. It's Melissa LePage. Number 12. See it? Melissa LePage won it. So Melissa, send me an email to teaquilts@teaquilts.com with your mailing address. So congratulations. I like giving back to Teaquilters, and I can't like give something to everybody. So, you know, there'll be times where I do something like this in my chat where I might get you know, give something away in my chats, and I try to give it to people who are active in my chats or that are active on my channel. But today was chat day, so I'm going to be doing that. I'll send you, I'm just going to put some stuff in a bag and send it to you with all of these pieces that I'm sewing here tonight. So I'll sew until 8. So whatever I sew, I'm sending to you. And then I'm going to send you some more strings too out of this box, because it's just a box of stuff. And it's like I came across it and I forgot I had it. I'm sure somebody gave it to me, but I'm going to be passing it along. Okay. Share it. And it's, you know, they're good fabrics. It's not like, it's not something I wouldn't use. It's just that I have other projects I'm working on. And I do have a container that is just string and crumb blocks. So hopefully somebody will enjoy it and make a quilt from it. And then I've already done a few pieces for you as well. So this is one piece right here. Trying to get to that. And we'll press these 3. Now, if I was on my big board, I would, you know, have them all lined up on the big board, and then I go cut them all apart, because I'd be working on more than one strip set at a time, kind of like I got 2 here now. I'd be working because I'm just filling pieces in. So yeah, this one was really dirty. Really dirty, really wrinkly. So I'm gonna put it on the bottom and press the bottom first. Then turn it around. Very wrinkly. All right. And then we're going to cut these apart. People, you all are really nice. They say, congratulations, Melissa. That's cool. And I'm just rough cutting. If I wanted this to be perfect, I could rotary cut. Since this is strings and crumbs, it doesn't matter where I cut. So I'm not worried about it. I'm just cutting my pieces apart so I can get them to different fabric, because I don't want to use the same fabric all the time. So let's cut this at a slight angle. And this one is done. This one is done. So I'm just going to take some of these other pieces now and start putting them on here. I got this one piece that I cut into 2 pieces, and so I'm using it now. But you know, you can make these as big as you want. 12-inch blocks. You put sashing in between them and or put a frame on them. They're really pretty. And the more fabrics you have, the prettier they look. I got another little oddball size here. We'll just put this on there just to get rid of it. Is this long enough? Yep. So we want this on there. So Melissa LePage, girl, are you going to Paducah this year, Melissa? I actually met her in Paducah one year, Kevin and I. And her daughter was there too, I think, and her granddaughter, if I can remember correct. I don't want this piece, so I just sewed those 2. We'll put this end on. All right, another long piece here. It's like I have so much stuff I'm coming across. It's like I am not going to be able to do all of this stuff. Now, you can start these off kind of log cabin style. You can flip back and go back the other way, or you can just keep doing log cabins all the way around. But, you know, if you start with an oddball shape, which is what I like to start with, like a shape that has 5 sides, I like those a lot better. But for me to start it for you guys, I just wanted you to see how you start it. Crumb quilt, because a lot of people, I get questions about it. They don't understand how to start it. So this one I cut at this angle, so we're going to put it on that angle and bring it down just a little. If you do have an angle, you want to press it before you cut that angle though, so you know you're cutting it in the right direction with enough room to add the next piece. So there we go. All right, I got to get to the end of that one. We got a lot on here now. Oh, this is a long strip. And we got this one. So we got lots. Yay. I'm going to go ahead and cut it flat. Just because the piece of fabric helps me to line up and cut it off. This one has an angle like this, so we'll cut it that way. And then the other angle is this way. I had already done this one, pressed it, I think. Yep. All right. So this one here, I just cut, it had a little angle, so I cut it right here with my scissors so I can put it onto the next strip set. Let's get just a different fabric. I'm just trying to mix up fabrics. Not caring about color or anything like that. Just want a different piece of fabric. So I went across, we'll go down. And this one's too long. Well, this one might be too. This one will be shorter. So let's press the next piece over. Doesn't matter how you press the seams. You can take these blocks too. The reason why I'm doing this, because, well, I told you I'm giving it away. But today I also went and did a lecture, and I did it on strings and crumbs. So this is that piece that I had all the little piecing in the middle and all of that. So now I would go across this way, but I'm going to go across this way just so you don't think everything has to be consistently going in a log cabin style. And then at some point you say, okay, it's long enough, whatever that long enough is for the blocks you're making, and you just keep putting it on the sides until you get it to the size that you want. And I do want to mix them up so that I'm not doing the same fabrics. Matter of fact, I got a lot of, I got some frayed ends down here. I want to just cut them off because I don't want to stitch that side in. So I'm going to go to the opposite side instead of log cabin around again, just to mix it up a little. And then I got a piece here that will take one of these little smaller units. Where are they now? Oh my goodness, now they're not showing up. This is a batik. It should be on my board, but I'm going to put it in here this time. And it's pretty purple. All right. So we don't have to do those. We're going to press what we got laying here. Oh my gosh, Melissa says she's got 4 now. Oh my goodness, congratulations. That is awesome. Press this over this way. And I got this little piece of African print down here. Press that one too. This is a long one. Let me see if she said she was going to Paducah. Uh-oh, Melissa. Janet McCurl saying she wants to see a picture of the quilt when you get it done. I'm just starting, so it's a long process. You know, unless you're working on it every day. I'm just getting somebody started, which now is Melissa. It was somebody at first. We now know who it is. But yeah. And like I said, once I get all of my blocks up to whatever size I want to square them all to, then I would use some sizing and then I'd square them up. And if I had like a lot of pieces, like that strip piece, the one that I showed you, I would use those trimmings and start new pieces with those. So I don't throw hardly anything away when I'm string piecing. As I cut across, I'm trying to cut off anything that I don't want in my seam allowance. Sometimes they get a little too frayed. And you could also take your piece units and sew them together too if you need to. You could do that as well. You don't have to just keep sewing it to one piece of fabric. Okay, we got that one. We got a lot of strings. All right. All of these are trimmed. And they're ready to go to something. Oops, I got one up here that isn't. All right. Little bitty piece. All right, so let's trim off this side. And trim down here because we're going to go across. I just want to show you how the little weird oddball shape things come out. So I'm going to get another piece. Ooh, another pretty piece. Y'all know I like bright colors, so I'm just going to start sewing this. I'm going to go past the salvage so I can cut that off at the end. I don't want that. This one was trimmed right here. And remember, seam allowances aren't important on this, so just long as you've got enough so that it's not gonna unravel. You don't want anything that's gonna come loose. But you don't have to be perfect. That's the whole point of this sewing. All right. I think I'm gonna stop after I fill this strip and then just press what I have, and then I'll be putting this into a bag. Let's get one of the bigger pieces so we can add another piece onto one of those. So she'll have almost a block. But at this point, I don't even know how many blocks I'm working with. I'm just filling fabric space. So that's all I'm doing. And then this other end has salvage too. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. So we'll count the pieces that I just started. So we've got 1, 2 here. So I just cut the thread on that. That's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be quicker rotary cut. This is 8, 9, 10, 11. Sometimes I'll leave the angle on. If it's an angle, I'll give it some space. 12. 13. 14. 15. I got an angle down there. 16. 17. Another angle. 18. 19. And 20. So a start of 20, I think. It doesn't matter. I was just trying to get an approximate number for you guys. And I didn't put water in here, so. Nice thing is I don't have to worry about anything stretching because it's all going to be squared up after the fact. So. So like I just sewed a lot of pieces to the orange. So when I sew like them to the next pieces, I wouldn't sew all of the pieces that have orange to the same next strip. You want to kind of mix it up so you don't see a developing pattern, like the same block having all the same fabrics in it. You want to mix it up. And I might need to put this back on there so it can heat up a little bit. Right there. We've got all of these pressed. Just while my iron's heating up, I guess I can use my wood press. If my fabrics have been starched or pressed beforehand, I would just have been using this to press my seams with. This is one with angles. But I'm going to go back and hit it with the iron because I don't have starch in these fabrics. So like if they were my fabrics, they would have had starch in them from when I pieced with them. But since they don't, you make sure you put starch in them before you square them up, Melissa. But they're coming out really good. And still got more orange. We had a long strip of orange. That's a string I can get rid of. All right. Oh, she didn't know yet. Lana says, you got that right. We pay for TV and you don't get any. Yep. It's not good programming on like it used to be. Do you end up putting a backing of some sort, paper, muslin, interfacing to square up? No, not on my straight strings or crumbs. The only time I do any type of stabilizers if I'm doing 2 times. If I'm doing like diagonal, and I showed you all when I was working on that Bonnie Hunter project where I did seams, but I only stitched one line on the paper, so it's easy for me to tear off. And then the only other time I'd use a foundation is if I am doing like quilt as you go, or something where I'm not going to be taking the foundation out, like on muslin, something like that. But for the most part, when I'm doing straight strings and crumb blocks, you do not need stabilizer. You don't need a foundation of any kind. The reason is because you keep everything flat. If you don't put any puckers in, it doesn't matter that this isn't straight, but when I put the next piece on here, I'm going to make it straight. So I'm going to square everything up. Once I get it oversized, then I'm going to square it up to whatever I want it to be. And also remember that we don't have to make quilt blocks with these. You can make those wallets I've been showing you all that I've done in here, numerous lives where I've made wallets, where I've used some of the fabrics like this that I pieced together. This is at an angle right here. So I did not cut this one until I got it pressed, because then I want to continue this line through here. I can't do that pressed. Down here, it's got an angle that's coming up this way. Let me show you. It's got an angle going this way. And so it just depends on what you want to do. Now, I could also start piecing this where I can put a piece on this side and rectangle around, kind of like a triangle going around this piece too. So that gives you a different shape. And then when it get to a certain size, then you just start working to square it off. So yeah, I don't use any foundation on this type of scrap quilt. Teresa wants to know if anybody has used expired soup June of 2023. Me, I think those are suggestive dates on something that's dry packaged, and I think it's okay, but that's just me. That's me. And Michelle says the same thing. It should be fine. It's been dry packaged. They have to put some kind of expiration date on stuff. They do the same thing with our medications, but then we send them to second and third world countries, and it's okay for them to take them, and they're not dying because we gave them expired medication. I think everything here in the USA just has to have some kind of packaging date. So, and Melissa's saying the same thing. It's merely a suggestion. If the texture is good, it'll be fine. And with it being a food item, if you open it and it has a weird odor to it, then you know it's bad. If it doesn't, then you keep right on moving. So, hi, Quilt Gal. Welcome. Teresa says she's going for it. I'll start bugging Lindsay to take me this week. That's too funny, Michelle. Melissa, I'm going only on Friday. My mom has a doctor's appointment on Thursday. Quilt Gal says, my girlfriend just told me she has her 3 and 6-year-old granddaughters machine piecing quilts, and they love it. Absolutely. I have one of the girls here who's a long armor. She has been teaching her grandkids. She says, if you know, when she watched them a lot, and so in order for her to get her quilting in, she had to incorporate them into the process. So she started them off young, and one the granddaughter is about probably start long arm quilting like 6 or 8, and she has a gamble with a statler on it, but she's taught her how to, do certain things. She don't let her operate stuff by herself, but she's actually quilting her own quilts too, and she's showing her how you set it up and all of that type of stuff. But she's been piecing for a while. She's an honorary member of our scrap club. She comes sometimes and work on her projects, but kids got such busy active lives with all the extracurricular activities we put them in. And Michelle was saying that the weird oddball stuff is just her size. So I'll be sending this, and then I'm going to send a good chunk of what's in this box to you as well. I'm going to be packaging that up next time I go to the post office. I got a cut. Somebody ordered a Take 5 kit. I got like 15 of the 30 fabrics I pulled. I got to get more fabric pulled, but I will be getting that into the mail as well. So have patience. I didn't have them cut, but I'm going to get that. I'm going to be pulling more of those. I'll start pulling more tonight. I don't know if I'll cut tonight, but I'll start pulling more fabric so I can do that. That's why your order hasn't been shipped. And as far as I can recall, that's the only order that hasn't been shipped. And Melissa says, starch, check mark. But they're nice and flat. It's just that before I cut something, I like to have a little sizing. And you don't have to go crazy with it. I'd starch them, spray whatever starch you're going to use. Let them sit for a few minutes so that the starch doesn't end up on the bottom of your iron. Like let them sit for like 20 minutes or so. Go do something else. And then I come back and square my blocks up to whatever size I want. Or like I said, I have a lot of tote bags and they take like 7x9 pieces. So make a lot of 7x9 pieces. Whatever you're going to do with them, you don't have to necessarily make blocks with them. So that'll be really cool. Let's see. Will you be live on Saturday? Saturday, I will be live, but I will not be here next Wednesday. So thanks for the reminder. Next Wednesday, I will be doing the String and Crumbs lecture for a guild. They're whoever they had scheduled for this month couldn't make it. A lot of times whenever that happens, some of the gills will call me and ask me. And so what I do is, if I know that I have a lecture before that, which a week before is a lot, because I have to go pull, I got over 600, probably 700 quilts in my house. And I have them sorted. And so I have to go up into my storage racks and start pulling stuff out. And sometimes quilts cross lectures, like if I have a scrap quilt lecture and then I've got strings and crumbs. Sometimes some of the quilts overlap because strings and crumbs are also a scrap quilt. So they overlap sometimes. So what I do when that happens, I ask them, okay, the lecture before yours is this. Is it okay if I do that lecture? If they say yes, then I'll do it. If they say no, then I don't do it, because with everything else that I have to do, I don't have time to spend another day pulling different quilts for a different lecture in such a short period of time without me having it pre-planned like that. So while I was at this guild today, I got my quilts back in order so that I'm ready to present next week. And all I got to do is take out my rulers and things that I can't leave in my car. I didn't even leave the quilts in the car. I brought everything in, but they're all packaged, ready to go. The only thing I got to do is the stuff that I show demonstrations with. I might be using some of that, so I got to remember to pack that type of stuff back up. But, yeah. She says, just mindless sewing, very calming, less stressful than trying to match points on half square triangles. Exactly, Paula. Kim R says, I just told my daughter to smell the yogurt and it smells fine. It's fine. Right. They just have to tell you that so that you can't sue them if you do get sick. And I think it has nothing to do with the expiration date. It's just some people's stomachs are more sensitive than other people's stomachs. But I'm a 60s babies. We were eating dirt and doing the 5-second drop to the ground type thing. Okay. I think I'm covered. I had, it's 8 of us children. So we had plenty of germs going around. So I think I'm covered for just about a whole lot of stuff. Joe Carmel's in here saying, hi TNT Quilters. I'm late, but happy Resurrection Day. So yes, I know Sunday is Easter, but I will be here Saturday night. And then I will still be doing what I need to do on Sunday. But, that's Saturday night. Otherwise I'm going to be just sitting around here idle anyway. So I will be doing that. Shelly says, that was me that ordered Take 5. I'm so excited to get the kit, but take your time. I know you're busy. Yeah, I do like to get my orders out within 24 hours, but I had mentioned Saturday when I was sewing on the Take 5 that I didn't have any cut because I think I had sold the last one, and I was sewing on one of mine that was like pieces from where people were saying they were short a piece, and so I'd put it in like just a business envelope and mailed them whatever piece they said they were short, which it's amazing to me that happens, because when I cut the Take 5, I cut all the layers at one time. So it was just weird that the couple of people that said that they were missing a piece, that it happened. So something must have just fallen out. I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm saying something either fell out of the stack when I was transporting it, but I didn't see anything left on the ground when I clean up. Or number 2, accidentally sewed 2 pieces together instead of the one. You know how when you sew a seam, and like I do starch my fabrics before I die cut them, so they could have been stuck together accidentally. So 2 things could happen. So that's gonna be it for me. It is 8:13. I just wanted to make sure that I read everything in the chat. Again, pillowcase drive, we're at 75%. We're at 225. I know we're gonna make the 300, but if you want to boost that number up a little bit more, you are more than welcome to send a pillowcase in. Address is always listed in the description box of the videos, but it is Teaquilts, P.O. Box 38205, and then the zip code is 63138, St. Louis, M.O. So, yeah, so that's going to be it, guys. I'm going to skedaddle out of here. I'll be boxing this stuff up for... Look, it's got all... I just cut this off of one of my quilts. That's a scrap. Now, this one is mine. I'm putting this... I think this one is mine, too. Some pretty stuff in here, but you're going to get a whole lot of it. I'm trying to get the box up off the floor so I don't knock it over when I get up. Because I will. Oh, and we got all this stuff back here that I piled back here. So I'm just going to get a bag, fill up a bag, and then ship it to you next time I go to the post office. Probably, I don't know, when I get that kit done. So it'll be either Friday or Saturday. All right. Some of the things that came out the box, I'm trying to get them back in here. And then I'm just going to lay these on top so I know what I got to do. All right. So that's going to be it for today, guys. You all stay blessed. Be safe, everyone, and quilt out. See you Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. 2 hours long sew and chat. Bye.